As we discussed yesterday, we'll be making a formation change for our last game against Vaca High. Wanted to give you guys the opportunity to discuss and understand what our shortcomings were coming into this game and how we wanted to address them. Right, so we came up with a couple of different ideas. We kind of talked through them yesterday, and today this is what we've arrived at. So let's make sure that we kind of understand why we're making the change and understand what that means for you as a player on Thursday, and also for our practice on Wednesday. So we're making the switch to a 4-4-2, so 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, 2 forwards for this last game. This is going to mean much more equality in the amount of spacing and the responsibility, kind of the work rate that each person has to do. Because defensively, it's very easy now to kind of look. We draw a line here, and a couple of vertical lines there. You can kind of make our defensive half into 8 equal sections, right, where we're trying to defend. As opposed to when we had our 3 defenders, our 2 wing backs, and our 3 midfielders, like our wing backs had a ton of extra more running to do. We were trying to save some energy with our center back, trying to save some energy with 2 of our midfielders in the way that we had the formation before. But now everybody's going to be, you're expected to do kind of the equal amount of running and movement and stopping the ball and all that kind of stuff. So it should be logically a little bit easier to understand because everybody has very, very similar roles, even as we shift from side to side, position to position. Because we have 2 lines of 4, it's very easy to understand kind of what your responsibility is, how you're supposed to fill in, and where, if there's a hole there, how do we fix that. So we start talking about our defensive shape. We want 2 lines of 4, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 2 lines there. Tight and compact, compressing the space. We don't want to have big, huge gaps, because if this player decides to get all the way out here, then there's an easy ball, an easy run for one of these people to run into, right? So we want to make sure that we're compressed. You can see the width of the 18. It's about how wide we want to be. We want to, if we have to shift over, then yeah, we shift over, but we keep that width. We don't want to get too stretched out in between players. If you'll notice, the midfield 3 in front of them are even tighter together than the back 4. So we want to make sure that even there, we're forcing them even wider, even harder, and we're ready that we have enough people to kind of rotate and create pressure cover situations in the center of the field. We've got our 2 forwards kind of staggered with the idea that one of our forwards could come back and help in the center of the field, try to help pressure the ball, and we've got 1 forward looking to make attacking runs. Maintaining our shape, keeping these 2 lines, trying to stay tight and compact is much more important than following a run. This player makes the run all the way out here, and then center back stays here. Just communicate, hey, you got a forward coming over to you, and make sure we have our shape. We're keeping our line of 4, we're keeping our line of 4, as opposed to this person makes the run, and then you follow that run all the way out there. Or if this person goes all the way up here, you're still going to stay here. You're going to know that person's out wide, but this wing back is still going to stay in their position, because it's more important that we keep them forced to the outside than chasing a run without the ball and opening up opportunities. Obviously, if the ball is played, then we shift and we make the run in behind. But if the ball stays central, we stay tight and compact in front of that ball. So remember, this is an idea where we're looking at zonal marking more so than man marking. We want to try to have a situation where only one player at a time is pressuring the ball to try to preserve energy for the team, right? So in this situation, the center mid should be coming to pressure the ball. Maybe the center forward is coming back to help create a double team. But then these 3 aren't having to chase or run too much. They're just going to make sure they maintain their spacing, maintain their shape, so there isn't space as this person vacates. As we start talking about transition, right, there's 2 periods of transition we're talking about. When we transition from defense to offense, and we transition from offense to defense, right? So when we have been playing defense for a while and we win the ball, we want to try to get wide. We want to try to open up space, create passing lanes for each other, right? It's not running away. We want to open up wide first, and then we can go up the field after we've kind of broken the pressure, right? So we're talking about breaking the pressure of our opponents. We need to play the ball quickly with a high tempo, moving that ball around accurately to feet until we find somebody who's open. They have time to pick their head up, dribble a little bit, and then we know, okay, pressure's been broken. Now we can start becoming more adventurous, more attacking. We can start running away from the ball because we have time, we have space. If somebody's under pressure, we shouldn't be running away. We should be thinking, hey, how can I move to the left or to the right, create a different passing lane, to make it easy for them to play out of the pressure. We're looking to play a ball in behind for our forward. We talked about this forward run, making a run in behind. I'll make sure that I have a link in the description of this video kind of showing what we're talking about. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, but like I said, we'll have a video kind of specifically highlighting the kind of movements that we can make as a forward so that we're active, we're dynamic, not standing and holding our hand asking for a ball. We're on the move, demanding the ball to be played to us. So we'll kind of look at a little situation here. In this situation, this center mid on the other team has the ball. Look how tight and compacted we are. We're not giving these forwards any space. We're not worried about this winger on the weak side. We're not worried as much about this winger on the strong side, because if the ball comes to this winger, we've got people in behind, right? We don't need to open up. We don't need to stay marked on that person. We need to make sure that we're forcing that ball, not allowing them through the middle of us. So this play will start with our center mid winning possession of this ball. We need to see, right? We need to get wide, create passing lanes. So our center mid has won the ball, played a ball forward into our center forward that has checked back into the space. And look, our defense has opened up, created space. Two center mids are starting to open up a little bit. Our two wing mids have gotten as wide as we can, and this forward has started to make a run into the space so we can try to play in behind the defense. If we're not able to progress this ball, we make a negative pass. We need to make sure that we maintain our spacing, we get our shape, we see our shifting. So as that negative pass was played, that forward says, okay, now I'm going to make this run down the line. The forward that tried to make the previous run says, okay, the ball shifted, so now I'm coming back, I'm checking in. Our two center mids aren't flat anymore, right? They're starting to stagger. One is checking to the ball, trying to be easy pass. The other one is looking for space kind of in the center of the field. Maybe we can look for a switch out. That wing midfielder has stayed wide on the line looking for a pass up the line. Look at our center back dropping back negative, so we have an easy way to play out. Maybe play our keeper and find the switch. You can see kind of that back line is staggered. It's not flat here on the white line. We got one negative, we got one a little bit stepped up, and then we got our wing back on the other side, kind of stepped up a little bit further. Look at our wing midfielder. She's looking to become that option on the weak side. She's stepping up. She's not going to be back here negative. She's looking to kind of create space, step forward. So as we make this pass back to our center back, look at our shifting. We still have a center mid checking into the space. Our other center mid is now starting to flatten out because now we made a negative pass. We need to flatten out a bit. Look at our wing back on the other side. Wing midfielder on the other side. From up here, huge run they're going to have to make back. So now that we have the ability to switch out. And look, our forwards are starting to get themselves more central because now the ball is more central. So in our transition from offense to defense, when we lose the ball, right, our number one priority is we need to slow the ball down. We're not diving into a tackle. We're not stabbing into a tackle. We need to slow the ball down so we can get our defense set up right with our two lines of four. Talking about the back four being at the 18-yard box. Looking at our midfield four trying to set up a line 25 yards out. So, in about 7-8 yards from the 18-yard box being in front of that, right? So that we're not allowing any easy shots. We're not allowing space at the top of our box. Make sure that we're trying to organize into a solid block or two lines of four. So in this animation here, our center mid has the ball. We're going to lose it, and we need to see how we drop and we find our shape. So our center mid is losing the ball here. Their center mid is taking it. And this is how we have to drop. So the center mid on our team in blue that just lost the ball isn't coming to pressure. She's dropping back into space. The center mid that was in space here is looking to shift over to force this midfielder out. Our forward is coming back to help pressure on the backside, create a double team. Our wing midfielder is sucking in real close. Our wing midfielder is sucking in real close. Our wing back, same thing. And look, trying to get that line on the 18. We're trying to get this line 7-8 yards, about the 25 in front of the goal. If this midfielder is able to beat our first line of defense, Well, now we're looking. Can we converge? Can we get a center back to step up? Can we get our wing midfielder? Can we get our center mid all here collapsing, trying to stop this ball in the center of the field? So here we are in a situation where multiple people are going to be collapsing on the ball because our first person got beat, and hopefully we've got the coverage in the middle that now we can win this ball. We can get it clear. The objective, right here for winning this ball is let's get it out of the middle. Let's get it out of the middle. So when we have the ball and we're looking at kind of the movements and the spacing that we want to have, if our center mid has the ball, has time and space, they're looking, right? Our wing midfielder is looking to make a run up the line. Our wing midfielder is looking to make a run up the line. We're looking at this center forward again, trying to make that run in behind so we can play that ball over the top. The other center forward is looking, hey, can I check in? It could be very, very easily that this player is making that check in and this player is making the run in behind, but there's no reason that both of our forwards should be running away. Both of our forwards definitely should not be standing still, and both of our forwards, both of them at the same time, shouldn't be checking back, right? We need to make opposite runs, where one's checking back, the other one's going away. We would like our wing defenders to join the attack. So if we make this play over here on the right side, we play this ball for our wing midfielder, then our right wing back needs to come up, and then we shift over. If we make this play on the left side, then our midfielder steps up, our wing back steps up, and we shift over and behind that play. It's very important that we understand how we move dynamically up the field together, and that we do want our wing backs to push up to the field. Because if we start making a play up here, instead of having our wing back waiting at the half field, I'd rather them in this space trying to win the ball than waiting at the half field trying to win the ball here. If we can step up and win the ball here, we're going to be more successful. We're going to be able to keep the ball closer to our opponent's goal as opposed to waiting to try to win the ball at half field. So tomorrow's practice, we want to have our warm-up. Remember, it's not a sprint. It's a jog. Get our blood flowing. We'll go through a dynamic stretch. We'll do our speed letters as we've been doing. Remember, our speed letters are important to wake up our feet, to get them moving. The hurdles are important, so we're teaching our body their proper habits, how we jump, how we land, so that we don't have tons of injuries with our knees. Moving to ball manipulation, kind of waking up our feet, getting ourselves used to the ball at our feet. Remember, the goal of this is to try to get us comfortable playing without having to stare at the ball. So we'll kind of go through our circle dribbling pattern that goes into our circle passing pattern, where it's pass and move, pass and move. And the entire idea as we're doing those is trying to keep it at a jog, 60-70%, but we're not staring at the ball. We're doing the little things right. I trap the ball, I pick my head up, I find my pass. Are we playing game speed passes, even if we're not sprinting, but can we play game speed passes? When we're dribbling, can I have my head up? Can I see what I need to do? Can I call somebody's name before I make a pass? Moving to our keep away, where now we're trying to polish our technique a little bit more. Now we have pressure on us. Can I trap this ball? Can I pick my head up? Can I play quick now that there's actually pressure on me? So then, big picture ideas, we want to start working 6 versus 4. We've got our back 4 working on how those rotations need to happen, how our shifting needs to happen. And then we've got our front 6 talking about the ideas. How do we stretch the defense? How can we move the ball to create goal-scoring opportunities for us in our game?